Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning back in to the QZ. And extra special thanks to everyone who tuned in last week for the listening party. That was really fun hanging out. Almost felt like real life. So the album has been doing well, The Sleep Awakes. We've got some radio play over in New Zealand and Australia and faraway places like that, as well as closer to home in Czech Republic and Italy and Germany, as well as here. We're close to 250,000 streams on Apple Music as well, which is great. Of course, if you do want to buy it, antlaw.bandcamp.com is the best place. Anyway, so that's all super cool. Today we have the amazing Jason Rebello joining us for some delicious and nutritious video collaboration. I first heard Jason many years ago. There was a bootleg going around of him playing trio at the Pizza Express, Dean Street. And I don't remember who was on drums. It was Michael Olatuja on bass. They played, it was a straight ahead gig basically. They played Giant Steps, All the Things You Are, Olio. There was a funny false start where Jason stopped the band and restarted Olio, if I remember rightly. And yeah, if anyone's got this bootleg, I'd love to hear it again. I don't have it anymore. Also on it was a recording of The Days of Wine and Roses. And I love this one double time thing that Jason played in that so much that I actually transcribed it without knowing I would ever sort of meet him or play with him or anything. So yeah, so there was that. He also, of course, had that very famous recording of Summertime with that amazing C7 sharp 11 chord. But I found a souvenir I wanted to show you. Check this out. 9th of May, 2004. Gabriel Latchin, another amazing pianist, and we actually lived together in Edinburgh. And we took the train over to Glasgow to watch Sting, and it was Jason on piano. And in that kind of box with that ticket, I also found this, which is some of the physics I guess I was studying at the time, although I have absolutely no idea what to calculate an orthogonal basis is, or the Gram-Schmidt process. Anyway, it sounds great though. If there's any physicists that want to explain that in the comments, then please do. Okay, I'll tell you a little bit, or rather, Jason and I will talk about how we met in the little bit of chat between the tunes. Jason is widely known as a sideman with Jeff Beck and Sting and Wayne Shorter, and apparently he's also performed with the two Ronnies. But honestly, he's just an amazing pianist, an amazing keyboardist, and an amazing human. So really pleased to have him on board tonight. We also have another amazing musician and a good friend, Adam Kovac, who's a Cuban trapped inside a Hungarian's body. And I believe that he's currently trapped inside his family home in Mosonmagyaróvár. So hi to all the Hungarians who are tuning in. Adam's very kindly created a mini percussion section for us on the second piece you're going to hear tonight, which is Nigerian Marketplace. It's a tune written by Oscar Peterson, and I've never heard anyone play it actually. So yeah, it's kind of like a rare cut for you. The first piece you're going to hear is just going to be duo. It's Jason and I, and this is one I wrote for my wife. It's called A to Z. don't need to be like uber slick or anything, because I'll just sort of edit things a little bit at the end. So yeah, and I won't make it so that you're saying like Ant is the best, Jason sucks or anything.
Ant is the best. Ant is the best.
I'm not even going to have to edit it at this rate. Yeah,
Yes, Dominic. I'm not as funny.
Arionic, he was very funny, wasn't he?
I think I can be as funny.
No, you could do. I mean, you're well known for your puns and jokes.
Yeah. Well, I'll try, but I don't want to promise anything.
No, no, let's set the bar. Well, let's not set it anywhere. And then,
Really low.
yeah. How are you staying sane during lockdown?
I mean, to be honest, Dan, I like it. I like staying at home. I'm a bit of a homebod,
Mm, mm,
so I haven't really. Um, I mean, I'm not really sane normally, so
yeah,
it's not. I haven't found it hard. I haven't really found it hard at all. I quite enjoy it, and to be honest, I've done a bit of practice and
yeah,
written some music at home. There's lots of things that you can't do normally
yeah.
when you. So I've just sort of made the most of it. My kids have come and stayed for a bit, and that's been nice. So it's sort of.
Nice.
I guess probably I could answer that a bit better and say that I've been quite disciplined. So I've made sure that I do certain things that I do every day, and kind of, I think that's helped because when it started,
Yeah,
a bit like just watching telly and being lazy, and then after a few weeks, I thought actually, no, this isn't good. You need a balance.
sure. Have you overshot it at all? The reason I ask is because I think I've been doing quite a lot and I feel a little bit tired out. I feel like initially when things slowed down, it was quite nice and I was enjoying it. But at the moment, I mean, I think it probably has something to do with when we're recording, my album is coming out in sort of 36 hours. So obviously there's quite a lot of
Yeah.
social media and those sorts of things, admin to do. But have you overshot it at any point, or have you been, has the pace been nice the whole way?
No, I think I've overshot a few times. Well, it's hard, and then like I've been trying to, we've been doing some concerts. Like my wife Justine's been helping me, and we've been doing some concerts too. But there's so much extra work that goes with all that too. So you sort of you sort of think, okay, let's make the most of this opportunity because obviously when you're out gigging and stuff, you don't have time to do all this sort of
Yeah,
human social media stuff and all that. So because there's the more time, I've ended up getting sort of sucked into all this
hmm,
sort of stuff a lot more than I would normally, and
mm,
it's a lot of work, isn't it? I mean, it's
yeah,
so
yeah,
many little details you've got to take care of, and
yeah. And one of the difficult things for me is that there's no limit really to how much you can do. There's always someone else who I could email to say, hey, I've got an album coming out, maybe we'll come and play next year. There's no limit. So you have to
yeah,
maybe establish those limits. I guess that's the challenge of the self-employed and the musician in 2020. But
you're quite right because when you get more into it, I sort of find my sort of point at where I have to stop is just when I'm knackered, when I just think cannot
yeah,
take
yeah,
another minute, you know. But then it's easy to sort of spend too much time away from the significant others in your life.
mm,
It's very easy to end up spending hours fiddling around with things that in the bigger picture you think, is it that really that important?
yeah. One thing I was doing, and I'll chop this out because this is obviously supposed to be about you. Well, it's supposed to be about me a little bit as well. But I think you'll find this amusing if you think back to, well, for example, probably any of the times in your career you never ever would have done this. But I've been working through charts of all the new tracks on my album so that I can say to anyone who wants to buy them, here's the complete set of charts. And earlier I was rooting around online trying to find a font for the charts that looks exactly like the album cover. And then I was going, what does this have to do with Don train and jazz. This has nothing to do with it. I need to stop. And I realized that was too much detail, but
Yeah,
um,
it's
yeah,
difficult because I've sort of noticed too that because I've always really avoided doing anything, like the bare minimum in terms of sort of publicity things and all that.
yeah,
I've found that you can sort of get into it, and it sort of starts to become quite fun
yeah,
thing in its own right, But then you go, oh no, I can't play anymore.
yeah,
Practice.
yeah, man. So I wanted to tell you, I've got a little reveal about one of the tracks that we've already recorded, the A to Z one.
Yeah,
So around the time that I met you, which I think was, well, I know, was when we were rehearsing a little bit with Tim Garland. That was when I got to sort of know Tim a bit as well, and we had a couple of rehearsals, and yeah, you said, are you married and are you single? I said, oh no, I've got a girlfriend actually, but yeah, maybe we'll get married one day. And you were like, oh, you should propose to her. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, sure, yeah, maybe I will. And then every rehearsal you'd be like, yeah, you should. Have you proposed yet? And then like during one rehearsal, I think I went for a pee or something, and I came back and you were like, have you done it? And I was like, what? And you're like, have you proposed? Anyway, so this piece was that, so the Z is for Amy's middle name, which is Zora. So it's like Z. A,
yeah.
so it's like a little piece for Amy.
Oh,
Um, so there you go. It's loosely connected.
it worked out all right, didn't it?
Yeah, it's working out. So I tell you, lockdown is a test for any marriage, probably, because every husband and wife will uh, testify, I'm sure. But yeah, there's a piece on the new album called Her Majesty, which has got loads of like gnarly harmonic major, Lydian sharp 9, sharp 5 chords, which I actually wrote for Amy, but then she was like, nah,
Rejected it.
not having it.
Yeah.
You see A minor sweetness. So that's what, yeah. That's what the piece. Maybe I'll play that piece at the beginning.
Hey, this one's for you, Amy. Damn
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Odd times, loads of free ups. Yeah, yeah.
it.
Um, if someone wants to get a gig with Sting,
Yeah,
do people always ask you this?
yeah. The first thing, you've got to be under 5'7". That's the most important thing.
Is Sting short?
No, no, but if you want to play keyboards, you've got to be under. That's the most important.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think there is any other
Yeah,
particular requirement.
great. Okay, cool. And so one of the other Sting related questions is is I've heard, and I mean, I do know this isn't true now from you, but I heard that you got paid £1 million.
No, that was a story that kind of I really like it. No, it wasn't that I got paid. I mean, it was that Sting asked me to after I'd stopped playing with him.
Yeah.
The story went round that Sting asked me to do another tour, and I said only if you pay me $1 million. And I've got no idea where that came from, but I like it. I mean, I wish it was true because it's quite a kind of cool
Yeah, yeah,
story. I want $1 million.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's a great one.
This is what Dominic told me.
Yeah.
So Dominic's the Sting's guitarist. Dominic, I hope you don't mind me telling your story, and I hope I get it right. But so so basically, Dominic was sort of in the green room,
Mm,
and there was this kind of old guy
mm,
kind of picking at some of the food, and sometimes on the tour, and you've been on tour a long time, and you can get a bit like sort of
right.
tired, and, and he kind of went up to the guy and said, "Sorry, can I help you? This is the green room. It's really for band members, really. Can I help you?" The guy went, "Oh, sorry," and sort of walked off, and then they did the gig and everything. And then after the gig, Sting called Dom into the dressing room and said, "Dom, there's someone I'd like you to meet. Come in, you know." And Dom, and then Sting said, he pointed to the guy in the dressing room who was the same guy, you know, and said, you know, "Hi, Dom. Can I introduce you? This is Dominic. Dominic, Burt Bacharach."
And Dominic will be like, "Oi, mate, get off our food. That's
Yeah.
band food, mate. What are you doing? Get out."
You owe us 4 spring rolls. And
Yeah. 4 little biscuits with salmon on or whatever. Yeah, great, man. I'll chop out my introduction to that so that people don't hear me mention Burt Bacharach, because that will ruin the...
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your musical endeavors at the moment. There's the Prince's Consort, there's the solo stuff, there's trio with Tim and you know.
Actually, but one of the things I've done, I've recorded an album with some medieval plain chant singers.
What's plain chant? Is that a choir or?
Proper Latin. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And we did that in January.
Cool.
Kind of getting that. That's really interesting. I think it's interesting. I don't know if anyone else will, but
That sounds really interesting. I'm sure you're gonna. I'll see you in the charts, basically.
been up on the medieval scene, I reckon, on the medieval stroke jazz.
I mean, I have to say, I think that I these days I haven't really heard of things being fused together that I can't think of it being done before. But that is actually something that I've never heard anyone try to do.
Anyone about it. Everyone will be jumping on the bandwagon, on the plain chant bandwagon.
Great, man. I look forward to when that comes out anyway. And you're still doing a fair few solo concerts and things like that.
I've been doing some Zoom ones, and then actually, there's a few gigs actually coming up. I'm actually going to Italy for a few days, and
Lovely.
so it looks like things might be, well. Let's not jinx it. Let's see what happens. But
Yeah.
and how are you doing? Are you good?
I'm good, man. Yeah. I think my first gig back is still currently October, so a little bit slow with that, but it's cool. I want to start practicing. I've been sort of bogged down with Jasmine, with the album, and charts, all that sort of stuff, and making videos and this kind of collaborating and
Yeah.
with people like you. It's just been great, but the logistics of it, doing the videos, revising videos, getting the mix right. It's yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to hopefully just playing. I really just want to play and practice, because I feel like, when there's periods where you develop a lot and periods where things consolidate and you do lots of gigs and the stuff kind of comes out, but then there's periods where you need to develop new language or new tools or something. I
Yeah.
don't know if you find that at all, but for me, I'm definitely need to live with the guitar, just,
Yeah, you can. I get bored of my playing, and then you need a few new dimensions to it. Things that you can sort of
yeah.
and push yourself towards. And by the way, I like your track that you put up with Tim and your.
Oh yeah, man. Thanks for sharing it. Yeah. Harvest. Yeah, the last single from the album. Yeah, Tim's burning on that. Tim, once he gets the soprano in his hands, he goes to 11. It's really exciting.
It sounds great.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, Jace, I'm not sure how long I've been recording for there. Is there anything else I should have asked you about? How's Sasha?
Sasha the dog, she's really good, because sometimes she gets 2 walks a day when when everyone's here and everyone wants to. In fact, in the earlier days of the lockdown, when you were only allowed your 1 bit of exercise, she often got 2 walks because people want to go on a walk. So she's lovely. She's kind of like, oh, I don't really want it to end. I don't want the lockdown to
Yeah.
But she's fine, and the cats are good as well. Although you didn't ask about the cats, but they're fine.
Yeah. Don't tell them. All right, Jace. Well, thanks very much, man. Thanks for bringing your amazing musicianship to these tunes. It
Thanks,
was really, you what?
thanks for the old timer on board.
No, honestly, with the A to Z one, well, there's a couple of like music theory, like what are you thinking here, harmonic things, but I'll save that for when we don't want to make everyone tune out and go to sleep. But I think people will really like the piece that's to follow, Nigerian Marketplace, which so that again emerged out of rehearsals with Tim. I think we were rehearsing with like 8 cellos,
All
and
right, yeah,
you and I and Asaf as well. And then there was a break, and we started playing a standard. I think "Darn That Dream" or something. And then we're like, oh, maybe we should play some standards at some point. And then I think we did 1 or 2 gigs, and we thought, yeah, let's, you can bring your Oscar
yeah.
influence to the fore. So the last piece is going to be Nigerian market. Have you ever been to a Nigerian marketplace?
No, I have been to Nigeria, but
Yeah,
not market. Been to supermarket.
I think that counts.
Yeah, Nigerian supermarket.
Yeah, great. All right, people. Well, you're about to hear Nigerian marketplace. Thank you very much, Jason Rebello. Love your
Thank you.
work. See you later.
Bye.
I'll chop it there. Thanks very much, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks so much for tuning in. See you next week.